All right, everybody. Welcome to lesson number 15 of the development of the U.S. national government. In this particular lesson, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be studying the anatomy of the Constitution. Basically, how is the Constitution set up? Earlier in this particular unit, we had taken a look at the preamble in a little bit of detail. In today's lesson and the next lesson, next part of the lesson rather, you're going to be focusing on how is the Constitution set up, like part by part. So our objective for part one is students, we will explain the structure, function, and powers of the U.S. government as established by the Constitution. And students will identify the roles of the three branches of government. In language objective, you are going to be discussing the powers of the U.S. government by speaking aloud. You're going to be probably talking with somebody after you complete the graphic organizer and such. So as you can see, within this particular part one, there is a reading, which is entitled Anatomy of the Constitution. You can see over here, it's several pages in length, but it's not a lot of reading, as you'll see, because there's a lot of visuals and stuff. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be filling out a graphic organizer. Now, there's a graphic organizer that is going to be a physical copy. You will see that you will have access to the physical copy. There's one side that has some sentence starters and stuff for you, and there's another side that is completely blank. It's up to you to decide which side that you're going to want to work on. It looks like this. There's a digital copy that's provided as well. It's up to you to decide which one you want to do. Okay, so there you go. And when you are done, there's a checking for understanding to make sure that we understand exactly what the anatomy of the Constitution is like. Then there's part two. Objective and agenda. Students will cite and explain, apply evidence from the U.S. Constitution to solve a web quest. So the instructions for this is a situational activity. It says over here, constitutional crisis. Russian spies have stolen the original copy of the United States Constitution from the National Archives Museum in Washington, D.C., and the cyber terrorist team of Vladimir Putin has deleted every single online version of the Constitution. It is up to you and your team of constitutional scholars to crack the clues they left behind to open the padlock safe and restore the constitutional justice to the United States. Now, obviously, it's a work of fiction. It's up to you to figure out the answers to some questions based around the Constitution. So what I want you to do is I want you to be opening up the Constitution to make sure that we have some understanding as to what's found in there. What are some of the rules and expectations? So there's a link provided to you here, which I just clicked on. And if you want to access it outside of the page right here, the best way to do it is you just click that arrow, and I can now see the Constitution of the United States. You're going to need to go through this particular Constitution in order to solve the questions. So I'll give you a perfect example of what this looks like. I click in my assessment, which is the Constitutional Web Quest, and the very first question is something along the lines of this. In order to catch me, you need to fund the police. In order to fund the police, you will need to raise money for the government by creating a new tax. This is part of the government where all laws concerning taxing of citizens start. What section of the Constitution gives them their power? So I need to go through the different sections of the Constitution, but since you're listening to the end of this video, you will know that if I go to Article 1, Section 7 of the Constitution, which is choice C, let's take a look. Article 1, Section 7. I scroll through over here, Article 1, Section 7, and I know over here that when it comes to taxes, it is the House of Representatives that deal with taxes. You see where it says all bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives. So any sort of tax law for the national government has to be introduced by the House of Representatives. Okay? So what you're going to want to do is obviously you're going to want to put choice C as your answer, and then you're going to want to move on with the rest of the web quest. Now, this is a lesson that should probably take you 2 days to complete from start to finish. Lesson number 15. All right, if you have any questions or concerns, you can let me know. Maybe I added just a little bit more in this particular lesson as well. All right, everybody, have a good set of days on this particular lesson. Bye, everybody.